It's always to make Jack happy. Okay, let me try to remember the rhythm of this one.
Rhythm of the night.
In the jungle.
Yeah.
Sorry, we were singing that song before we started, so it really kind of threw Nick off.
No. Baby, if you ever wonder what became of me, I'm talking on a podcast called The Ramblecast. The Ramblecast, the RCAD. There you go. It's a short one. I didn't do the
I
like
love it. That was nice.
Yeah.
And
One of the great theme songs of all time.
Were you doing that in honor of Johnny Fever?
I was, because he passed away. I went to do that actually last week, but I was really tired and I didn't.
Howard.
I'm amazed that you got it in today because we were talking before we recorded just about how exhausted you were. You've been pushing the candle at both ends.
I took a nap.
Good for you.
Took a nap. Well, because my granddaughter informed me, we were walking up the stairs and she goes, Gigi works to make money. My mommy and daddy work to make money. Why don't you work? And I go,
I watch you.
I go, if you don't think taking care of you is work, then you're crazy.
Yeah.
I was worn out today. I just got to get some sleep.
Well, that's what I was saying to Matt, is that, I had this huge demo today that I've been prepping for 2.5 weeks for, and I haven't taken a weekend off or anything. I've just been working for basically 16, 17 days straight. And it's just for 4 hours. It's a 4-hour demo, and it's a lot. And I did it. I got up at 5:30 this morning and demoed from 7:30 to roughly 12:30, and then it was just. And then, of course, there's more from other people in my company as well talking after I do, but it's just I get the bulk, the headache of it.
When you give them a demo, do you talk you said from 7:30 to 12:30, are you talking for 5 hours? No one's asking any questions?
No, so this one it's called an RFP, which is like a normal demo is usually anywhere from an hour to an hour and a half. When that's like an introductory, like, oh, here's an overall view of our products, here's what this can do, blah, blah, blah. When you get to this stage, though, they've already seen all that. And they're at the point where a major company is saying, like, okay, it's between you and this other competitor. You get this day. The other one gets this day. Here's a list of everything we want to see and how we can do these. And you have to basically build a demonstration around all of their requirements. And so so for this one, the first hour, they said nothing, absolutely nothing. And I hate that. It drives me crazy. Because usually the way that
you were probably giving them your best jokes too.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
is this on?
That would be me.
No. So what you do is you try to say like, okay, for every hour, plan for 45 minutes. That way you get 15 minutes of questions in that hour. Well, when they're dead quiet, it's like, oh my God, like, are you getting this? And then you stop every now and then.
You have to stretch out.
Yeah, and you start to say like, hey, like, you guys have been quiet. Like, do you have any questions about this? And then like people will chime in. Oh no, they've been asking them in the chat. And you're like, oh, well, that's what I'm here for, guys. Just ask, yell out, because otherwise you run through your stuff quickly if you're not asked anything. But later on, they did finally start asking things and requesting like, oh, can you show me this? Can you show me this? Like, sure.
Do you do it from home?
Yeah, I do it from home.
Does anyone ever request you to play the ukulele?
No, they do not. They do not.
How does your internet? Does it do all right?
It does, because like I think so it's not your download speed. What interferes with our podcast is that we do video feeds, and so it's the upload internet, not the download internet, that interferes with the Nickernet. So especially when we have 4 video feeds, I'm downloading 3 video feeds so I can see you guys live, and then uploading mine. Yeah. It clogs up the internet.
So you're saying if we lost one of the video feeds, we would even be better?
Well, we are, aren't we, right now?
Not saying that anybody's not here, but
but someone,
they're just not on their device.
Yeah.
No, Chris said to start without him. He's
building an art.
Bathroom leakage.
Bathroom
flood, so go ahead,
yeah.
Nick. Yeah.
But yeah, like so.
A bathroom flood? I thought it was a kitchen.
No, you said a kitchen flood.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
But if you
it was a shitstorm.
Yeah, if we went back to just doing straight audio like we originally did back in the day, I probably would never cut out.
I don't think I could ever go back that way.
I know it's kind of weird because now we can see our reactions and we can kind of read our facial expressions and kind of do the high fives.
I could never go back to talk shoe.
Oh God,
or even Skype. I hate Skype, but there goes our sponsorship for Skype. But I always seem to have problems with Skype. Doesn't matter what. But yeah, this is a lot better.
Oh yeah. But it went well, even like I was saying to Matt too, I think just before you joined, it was, you might have joined by that point, but it's not like it's just me and that company. It's like everyone that's high up in my company is also watching me. So like our general manager, like, and all of his underlings are there. And so it's like, you better not mess up. You better not fuck up. Because it's not like, oh, you're losing a little bit of account here. These are like multi-million-dollar proposals.
So it's like Midnight Express when he's in line. The movie Midnight Express.
Yeah, I knew this movie. Yeah.
Yeah. He's like sweating because he's got the heroin strapped to him.
I think I told you guys that, like, when I lived in LA, my original security guy, doorman, was from Buenos Aires. And, they're like a lot of South American countries, they're not very trustful of banks. And he finally had enough money to retire, and he was going to move back to South America. And he taped all of his money. He taped all of his money to his body and flew back. And they stopped him at customs, and found it. And like he's like, "This is for my house. Here's my receipt." Like he was showing it to him, and they're like, "Oh, I'm not a drug runner." He goes, "Yeah, but you know how it is in this country." And they're like, "Oh yeah," and so they let him go. But he had I think he said it was the equivalent of like $220,000.
They stopped him in the United States, or
they stopped him in Buenos Aires. Yeah.
Oh wow.
I thought when I was riding my bicycle with all that cash on me that one time, it was a lot of money,
Yeah, $220,000.
Yeah, that's.
It's lucky he didn't sweat and ruin the money. I mean, it's just
I know. It's crazy.
He couldn't have got like a cashier's.
I don't. He was just telling me about it. And I was like, oh, all right, but I wasn't gonna. He's, I didn't want to question him because he was that kind of guy. It's like if you question him, he'd probably get all insulted. So I was like,
yeah, that's true. That's true. I'm just saying, got to be. $220,000 strapped to you. People are killing each other out there for their people's wallets. So I'm not suggesting anyone go out there and kill anybody, but I'm just saying that's a lot of money.
God damn it, Jack.
Yeah. I keep driving around Indiana looking for Matt on his bike.
I think you missed out. I think you missed out on a teachable lesson there with your granddaughter. You can be like, "Oh, you want to see how Pop makes money?" And you go out to the park, and you start robbing people or scamming them,
That's true. I didn't think about that, but
honey, go over there and run into that stranger, start crying for no reason. What did you do? I'm gonna call the cops if you don't.
She's a good little actress. Like that could be like Paper Moon. I think.
Paper Moon.
Yeah, there you go. Mm-hmm. She's a little young for that. Maybe in a few years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you gotta teach her the tricks.
Exactly.
Right.
Gotta start them young, man.
Yeah. So that's the only way that you can brainwash them, right, Nick? So.
I don't know why I brought that. I haven't seen Paper Moon in probably 40 years.
I don't know. It's like a movie that I liked when I was a little kid a lot. Actually, my sister liked it and forced me to watch it a lot. Was Savannah Smiles, which is a cute little like family movie.
Yeah, I saw it once.
Have you ever seen that movie, Matt?
I thought that was a Girl Scout.
No, it's two guys. It's two guys that I think just got released from prison, or it's kind of like they made a kind of like a remake of it again with Nick Nolte and Martin Short later, but it's they're just two guys that are ex-cons, or maybe they just got released from prison, and this girl runs away from her parents and gets in the back seat of the car, and then they keep driving, they don't realize she's back there until they've gone like a couple other states, and they don't know what to do because everyone's going to assume that they kidnapped her, and that's the whole movie, and they're innocent the whole time. But it's a cute little movie. It came out like 82 or 78.
Yeah, I remember watching it once, probably on cable.
Yeah. I tend to miss those 80s movies that would never be made today. They're just like little lighthearted, 90-minute films that really they're just a cute film, but they're not like a blockbuster. They're not something that you're gonna.
Well, there's a lot of movies from the 80s that couldn't be made today.
Oh, that's true. I mean, yeah.
Movies that were successful.
Yeah,
there's no way they can be made today.
But you know what I mean, like just these low budget films that
right. Well, maybe Netflix would make it or something like that.
Yeah, Netflix. Yeah, that's true.
For their
yeah, good stuff. Good times. Well, let's.
That's like I always say about 70s TV shows, 60s westerns and stuff like that. They should remake them, but they have to make them more edgier.
Oh yeah,
more violent, more.
That's what it's, even though it's nominated for Best Picture. I mentioned it a few weeks ago, like Del Toro's new movie, Nightmare Alley, is a remake. It's an old tale, and I never have seen the original. But
would you say that it's a tale as old as time?
It's his tale as old as time. Yeah, but to me, I was a little disappointed in it. It's beautiful, like a lot of things he shoots, but it's just the story you could tell was old, and I could see the ending coming a mile away. And so,
Chris's life in a nutshell.
Here comes the captain of the Titanic.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Were you showing us your thumb because that's what was stopping the leak?
Yeah. No. So, I don't want to interrupt your story, Nick, but I mean,
that's fine. That's what you do.
Probably would do anyways.
He even interrupted your story.
That's why I stopped talking. I was like, "Oh, Chris, I'll just go ahead and stop."
Like to be fair, I have gotten way better at not interrupting stories. I reserve the interrupting story time to this one.
I think you make that case a lot, but I don't think you realize it.
Well, I don't recall the last time I interrupted a story intentionally.
I feel the sparks are starting to fly. This is good.
Hey, I'll be honest. I never do it intentionally. I go, okay, this story's going nowhere. I need to interrupt it.
That's what we all think about you.
And bring it even more down.
I like to ask. I like I said about Nick and his demonstration. I like to ask questions if I have something. Ask the question. I don't want to wait 45 minutes for the question, because if I don't ask now, I'm not going to remember.
Oh, cool.
All of the questions that you ask Nick are just helping me figure out his passwords.
Okay.
That's
what I'm here for.
Yeah. That's what's
float?
funny when you see all that Facebook bullshit, which I know Chris is not on anymore. But
when
you see all those, like, post a photo of you from 10 years ago, like, thank you for helping them, do their algorithms for, facial recognition.
Look, it looks like it's missing the radar dish, like it flew into the desktop.
It certainly is missing the radar
and the
dish.
cockpit
Missing a few
glass
things.
too.
And, I have that.
Oh, he's got the cockpit. You know that.
I asked you, does it float though?
No, so
it's
no,
not
it doesn't
a witch,
float.
Jack.
No, so that's a reference joke to the fact that I texted these gentlemen just a minutes before we're supposed to start. I'm not blaming anybody because that would be wrong for me to blame somebody in my house. Never. But essentially what happened was that all the dishes that got piled up in the sink that weren't put in the dishwasher stopped the water from actually finding its way to the sink.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So when that happens, we have what we call a flood on the kitchen counter that no one realized was happening. So I went over and I was like, why is there a fucking inch of water in the counter? And how long has it been there? It's probably been there for a couple of hours and no one noticed it. I just got off from work a little while ago.
Well, luckily, no one got electrocuted.
Yeah, right? Oh, shit. I wonder if this thing still works. The battery hatch is open.
Oh, yeah. You put some batteries in that.
If you don't have any acid corrosion, you should be all right.
Yeah, it actually looks pretty good in there.
A little baking soda and something
for those
folks
at home.
Yeah. No, to get the corrosion off.
I'm holding my Millennium Falcon from when I was a kid.
And that's not a euphemism. It's actually
that's not what I'm holding.
Yeah, and it's got like the cool little compartment in here.
I'm holding the Death Star.
Well, you don't have the cargo plate though.
I don't have the cargo plate.
You got the little ball with the stick. You got the ball with the stick. Oh, okay.
No.
Okay.
But this is part
you're just destroying his fun here. I mean,
yeah. Sorry, Matt. I'm living up to your fucking standards. But
If Jay was here, he would be breaking it down for you.
No,
Jay would be. Jay would say, "Don't even show it to me."
On the contrary, when I was showing this to you, gentlemen, via text message, Jay was quite excited.
He was.
Yeah, because he has the most free time out of all of us.
He probably thought you had more to it.
Well, he's married. Nipple clamps don't just do it for him anymore.
Yeah. So here's my Millennium Falcon, amongst a bunch of other stuff. I guess an example, my
jogging in
the
the 80s.
Oh yeah.
Oh, hey, you have the X-wing there. Nice.
Yeah,
Hey,
my X-wing.
it's Olivia Newton-John.
Yeah, exactly.
I've got.
Chris is just like,
Yeah,
wow, you got the Darth Vader.
Yeah, I got Vader's a TIE fighter.
Yeah.
Sans wing.
I'm missing nope, I got the wing.
Okay.
But I am missing a strut though, the bit that connects the wing to the thing. So this little part here, I might try and find on this is not the greatest way of doing it. This little part right here, I'm gonna try and find on eBay to put back together my Darth Vader TIE fighter. This thing's sick, dude. Like toys were so much cooler when we were kids, man. Like these toys are so cool.
They're even better when I was a kid. They were made.
But yeah, so this one kind of broke off. So I gotta get that one. Little part replaced.
Oh, that's your problem right there.
Right there, right on the and rotary girders.
I was reading something. I was reading something though. A couple weeks ago. I did not know this. Was that there was some kind of law against
plastic.
No, like the reason why toys exploded in the 80s is because there was some law in Hollywood or it was some kind of weird law that you couldn't promote
cartoon
toys.
Just for selling toys. It had to have moral, and it had some kind of moral lesson involved, so that it wasn't just like a complete commercial. Basically,
right? That's what. That's something like that. Yeah.
Meanwhile, we got other half-hour dedicated, like, as seen on TV commercials, right? Like shows that are. Now that was a ship that was just worth its weight in gold, right? It had space enough to fit two people.
What's it missing?
It's missing.
It's missing the hatch, and it looks like it's open in the back there. It looks like it's gonna get snow in that.
The gun is in the back. Yeah, you're missing the engine. Yeah.
Ooh, yeah, that engine.
I think I have it.
You gotta have the engine.
It's never gonna fly
Jesus
down.
Christ.
Now you could take off the battery compartments of that.
I think he's missing Dak.
The grill.
I mean, Dak never left the cockpit, so
Dak never made it out of his home.
It would never fly in Ohio.
No, the little cargo piece on that snow speeder was always nice. Like where you put the batteries, you could take the batteries out, and that became like a little cargo hold where you could put your R2 unit or Ewok or anything that's small, really. So don't ask me why an Ewok was on Hoth, but that's how I played.
So Chris, since you're talking about old toys, or showing, there you go. Did you end up getting the Lego Falcon?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
I didn't. I put a bid on it, and the guy never responded to my bid. And then he responded to me after the fact, and I was like, "Fuck you!"
Yeah.
Like, and it wasn't even that. Like, he responded to me after my bid was expired, but he was like, "Would you take it for like 15% more than what I bid for?" And I just ignored him. I'm like, you could have just said no at the beginning, and I would have been on my merry way.
Well, that's what they do. They wait until all the time on their stuff's expired, and then try to come back and be like, "Oh well," because they're greedy. They're trying to get as much as they can, which was what most of us would do. But if you're really trying to sell it, then sell it.
Right. So I passed on it, and then all the other ones I've seen are like missing shit or whatever. I don't want to do
so you're saying he didn't sell it?
Correct.
No.
Okay.
You let the whole expire.
Process.
Yeah.
He has probably a certain was it a limit they had put it?
Oh yeah, the
reserve.
Minimum.
Yeah,
minimum.
Minimum. Mary.
Oh,
yes, that was the thing. I never had the troop transport.
That's a troop transport. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I never had it either. Never.
You never carried any troops? Like just put them on your back and
kind of cool.
Let's go.
Nope. We had
I
Where's the figures, Chris? Like you're showing us all this
guys.
cool shit. Are they dead? that they do?
They're sleeping, but
They're
People who are listening to this are getting so much.
But we can wake them up, shall we?
Yeah, Jack was like, I didn't know I was here for Owen and Bruce.
Yeah, so not only are we talking about fucking Star Wars to torment Jack, we're talking about Star Wars toys, and it's like a show and tell.
He's like, I get enough of this from Jay every time I go over to his house.
No, he just leaves his door shut.
So I've got my my Darth Vader case.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Every kid had to have one of those, I think.
So for everyone out there, this is the the minifigure or just figure case that looked like Darth Vader that you opened up.
Darth Vader's bust, if you will.
Bust, yes.
If Hot Wheels.
That's if Darth Vader drove a Lexus.
Did it have Hot Wheels in it?
Would you think I had C-3PO?
And it's definitely all kind of mishmashed here, but you can kind of see here.
Oh yeah, look at here. I'll put you full screen there, Chris, so you can show off your goods there. Lift your jewels to the sky.
Yeah, so they kind of all fell.
Oh, there's a Grok droid in there.
And you got them stacked pretty nice in there, nice and neat.
There's a there he is.
Oh, they're gone.
Still got his little antenna too. So, if you shoot at them, they explode.
Well, the people listening on the podcast, this is why you should join us live.
We do like to talk to each other. And does he has the sword? Is there a tip on that sword?
No. Oh wait! Oh!
Is that the telescopic one?
It is.
Ooh.
I was going to go TikTok live on this one.
That tip looks a little bent there. It looks like it's
like you got a red rocket there.
Yeah, it looks like the thing was sticking out of Matt's ass when he was.
If you get into the look, checking these things out, there are so many different variations of these lightsabers. It's nuts.
Oh yeah.
Like the different tips, the sizes of the tips.
We're still talking about lightsabers.
We are. What's on the knob on the back? Like there's certain ones that have letters or punches. If it floats, does it sink? Some of those things. So the best thing is that you know that those are authentic and those are yours. And
if I would have known, I would have still kept sleeping, taking my nap.
I think this is kind of cool. I think he's still got the jacket on or the robe.
It's in good condition too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It looks like a fruit roll-up.
There was a lot.
Yeah, it actually does, but it is leather, I believe, or pleather, if you will.
Chris is showing us his Obi-Wan, and by the way, there were.
Hey, I don't want to see your Obi-Wan. Okay,
there was a lot of different Kenobis that had
keep it in your pants.
Faces. Like they had different, grays and
this is not the Obi-Wan you're looking for.
Yeah. Is it weird now that like when someone it's kind of slowly taken over my mind now that because Ewan McGregor
Smith is in chat.
Ewan McGregor has been Obi-Wan for so long now that when someone says Obi-Wan, I picture Ewan McGregor now instead of Allen Guinness.
I do too. Too. No doubt.
No.
Sherry says things Chris bought with this bonus. No, Sherry, this is not for my bonus. These are actually my original. My brother and I had these toys when we were kids, and they're all actually in really good shape.
That's butt face.
Yeah, it's total butt face. They've been in this container for.
Let the record show that he was
probably 35 years
for the Star Wars.
He showed his butt.
Oh yeah, that's the yellow-haired Luke.
That's Johnny Quest.
There's a brown-haired Luke. There's a sandy yellow-haired
Johnny Quest.
Yeah,
Luke. They say Luke.
These are actually in pretty good condition for their age, I have to say.
At this point, we're going to take a commercial break.
It's a bit too soon.
He's like, how do we move on from the topic? You guys want to talk about Mando? Did you catch that Mando last week?
Yeah, he kind of went into Johnny Carson there.
Oh,
yeah. Did you check out that land?
Yeah.
I did not know.
Hammerhead.
Like what's crazy about these though that I'm looking at, like all of like the robes and stuff are there. You don't see that anymore. Like these are like
all of the detail and the fabric
like really detailed. They're actually really nice.
Squidman was one of my favorites. He was
Squidman and the Sea Monster.
Well, I wanted him to be a good guy.
I had that one for sure.
Yeah, like these are all in like really, really good shape.
John the Mexican UPS guy is really kind of The listeners that tuned in live are actually kind of disappointed in Chris's choice.
John the Mexican UPS man said, "Whippets are looking real exciting right now."
Yeah, they tuned in for the classic married man, and they're getting Jay's closet collection.
One of my favorites.
Okay, here we go.
Care or not?
Wait,
boss.
Why does he have a gray robe on?
Yeah.
What is he sporting to do?
I never knew Boss.
That's cool. You know, he picked up some Ognot's cape laying around and was just like, Chris wants to know, is there any Jawas? I think Chris Doran is the only live listener that's like, Star Wars?
They're really hairy. Really hairy.
Actually, the chat is more interesting than what we're talking about.
Just to put something up that's also Star Wars related. I'd seen this meme today. I thought this was really spot on. So
I saw that one earlier.
Yeah.
Too. I knew when I saw it. So for everyone out there, we're looking at an image of a Cad Bane from the from Book of Boba Fett, and when I saw him, I knew his nose was higher, but it's an actual human being in there, so that made sense. The only thing I said was he looks a little pale compared to what his normal color is, and of course Chris was like, "Well, it's been 30 years." I'm like, "Well, true," but that was my only issue.
Who's the actor? That's
which one?
Christopher. He's dead now. Sir Christopher, whatever. Saruman.
Yeah, Christopher Lee.
Christopher
Lee.
Lloyd.
Christopher Lee.
Yes.
Lloyd.
That's it.
Carrie.
Yeah, I mean they're just making they're making a comparison because the exaggerated features versus the cartoon series.
No, I got that. I was just trying to remember the actor's name.
I've never seen that one. That's cool. The droid.
You never saw FX7?
No.
What? Really?
What are those Q-tips at the?
No. Those are little legs. You know, they come out.
Oh, okay. I thought they were like those twisty things you put on bread and stuff.
The squishy one that Christopher Lee. Thank you, Jeremy, in the chat there.
Oh yeah, our Canadian's back.
And then
for a few minutes anyway.
And look how much cooler the Gamorrean guards are in Toyland than they are the goddamn show.
Seriously, like they got the color all wrong on that. Like if people are going to complain about Cad Bane's color, so sorry for the spoilers there. Oh, hey, what do you have the snake for Yoda? That's an important.
Was that Baby Yoda? He's got a fake leg. What
looks like he's got a little knife there.
Do you have the snake?
Oh
no.
I don't think so.
Randy Dale's Q-tips.
That is the other thing that fans really want to know. Like, how did Luke get Yoda's lightsaber? Like, does everything have to be spelled out? Like, can we just not have some mystery here? But, it's all of this
spelled out.
All of these click articles.
10 movies.
I mean, he could have taken it. I mean, he did know where he lived.
Yeah. I mean, who knows? I mean, it's not written in stone.
It's a trap.
It's a trap. I mean, I don't want to get into the Book of Boba Fett.
The star of Book of Boba Fett, the big star of the Book of Boba Fett. I'm not even high yet, and I thought that was funny. But apparently, I should probably get high. Yeah. Stand people.
John, the Mexican UPS guy, points out that it is Colleen's birthday today. So
happy birthday,
happy birthday to the producer that makes this show possible.
And for her heart, we're talking about Star Wars.
Yep. Oh,
Star Wars toy.
Chamber? Oh, empty. Womp.
Does David Ortiz belong in the Hall of Fame?
Yep.
Jeremy, he did make a cameo in the last episode. So, Boba Fett made a cameo in his own on his.
Oh, so Boba Fett's not hadn't even been in the last 2 episodes of his own show.
He made a cameo.
He made a cameo. He was just like
maybe all he had was dirty underwear and he couldn't appear.
I think this next episode tomorrow we'll just see him on top of a Rancor. He won't even have any lines, and then Mando will just do everything else. And
Matt Treese points out happy 90th birthday to John Williams. Yeah,
yes.
So
you old bastard,
90 years young. So
they should play him a song.
So what about like Piano Man?
Star Wars, nothing but
Star Wars.
Better than Star Wars.
Speaking of Star Wars, I got this. Did you guys get a card from Maggie? You know, our listener. I got a Star Wars. I got a Star Wars little Christmas card from.
I think she sent me one last year, but there was no return address, and she did. She probably sent it to my old address.
Yeah, she might have here.
I don't remember.
Anyway, I just have it on my little podcasting table here.
What did you
keep looking at it, and I kept meaning to kind of thank her. Thank you for sending me that. That was very, very thoughtful. So,
Jawa looks tall.
You need the Jawa cape. So if you had the Jawa,
at this time, we're going
vinyl,
to take a commercial break.
What? No, we're not taking a. Okay,
it's 30 minutes in.
It's 30. Yeah, okay, fine.
When did you become producer of this show? You know,
I'm just
throwing these commercial breaks.
I'm just trying to keep the show. Hey, I don't want to step on your toes.
I think you're you're wanting. This is kind of an oddity, though.
I took a nap for this.
Chris isn't on his device. He's actually just playing with his toys. So.
I'm never on a device, by the way. When I'm not paying attention to you, motherfuckers, I'm on a different tab on my on Safari.
There you go.
Oh, so
listeners, that's what he thinks of you.
Closed.
There was a show. So Nick, you were talking earlier about just being busy and being up since like 5 a.m. today. Mm-hmm. I was up really late.
If you're up for 4 hours, you need to go to the hospital.
Binged a show. Finished binging this show, The Righteous Gemstones. I mentioned it last week.
Yeah.
I'm caught up, so there's still some more episodes coming out on season 2. Worth it if you have HBO Max to check out this show. I think each season has a different flavor to it with different characters, but the writing on this show is I think in production level of the show is just top. There's some top-notch stuff and some really hilarious moments. And it's a show where I don't think they definitely poke fun of evangelical Christians, you know, but I don't feel that they completely trash Christianity. There are some moments in the show that kind of give you that like, aw, you know, and there was a moment in this last season, second season that I'm watching, and there's a moment that it just emotionally got to me. I was like, why is the show? I mean, maybe it's because I'm up at midnight, but it kind of hit me sideways there. And then immediately they can turn around and make a dick joke work. You know what I mean? Like it's that kind of show. So it does. John Goodman, thank you. Like all of the other Johns came to mind. I'm like John Lovitz, but John Goodman.
All the Johns are used to those Johns.
Those Johns? What do you mean?
Those, Johns.
Anyway, John Goodman is really good on the show. I really love his acting. In season 2, I think they really start to expand his character a lot. So. Highly recommend checking out that show. So, and Jack, I think there's some moments that you would really enjoy this.
Well, I was telling my wife and I were trying to figure out what to watch. I said, "Hey, someone recommended that from the."
She might be offended by it, but
have you fuckers watched Station 11 yet?
Not yet. No.
I don't know if how offended she would be.
I don't know. It doesn't matter to me. I'll watch.
They do make a funny. They make a funny line about how they don't consider Catholics real Christians at some point.
I mean,
but no, Station 11. I think that'll be my next show. But I want to sit down and really kind of pay attention because last time, like I said, I started to watch it, fell asleep, and then I woke up 4 episodes down the line, and I'm like, I have no idea what's going on.
Yeah, you should definitely give it a shot.
Yeah, it's good.
Hey, Randy is halfway through season 4 of Breaking Bad.
Wow, almost caught up to
nice.
Good for him.
At least he gave it a shot.
Yeah. Now, the only thing I've been watching new is HBO Max. Raised by Wolves season 2 is out, and so I've watched the first 2 episodes of that. That's really about it.
So I took your suggestion on that one, Nick, and I started watching the pilot episode of the first season
Of Raised by Wolves. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, interesting show.
It's interesting,
sure.
yeah. It kind of takes a weird turn on the last episode of season 1, but it's still good. And then I kind of want it to be a little bit faster paced than what we get out of it, but it's still an interesting show.
Nice. Looks like we got some Miami Mike and Chris Doran making some comments about Station 11. Miami Mike thought it was pretty good. Chris just started it. I'm a huge fan of that show. I think it's actually very, very well done. I actually had a conversation about Station 11 today with one of my coworkers, and thinking back,
like it, or you could fire them.
Yeah. So thinking back to the show after giving it's been about a week since I finished watching it. It's been it's holding up, and I think it's actually just a really well made show.
How many episodes?
Not many.
11.
10, I think.
10?
It's either 8 or 10.
They blew that.
I know, right? Like, just
I want to say it's
out.
10, but it could be.
And
it's a one and done, right?
It's a one and done.
One shot season. Yeah. So we talked a little bit before. The pacing is perfect. Like, I gotta tell you, the pacing is perfect. The way that they actually kind of edited out the show, and now they reveal what they reveal when they reveal it, and how they do it. It's actually very, very well done. And you grow an affection for the characters. Unlike many of the shows we've been watching recently, you don't really give a shit about characters, but there's actually really good development in the show. I also started watching a new show on Apple TV called Suspicion.
Yeah,
I don't know if you've seen the advertising for Suspicion.
I have. I haven't watched it yet.
Oh, nice. Ed just mentioned it as I was bringing it up. So he's seen one episode. I think I've seen 2. The next episode comes out. They release an episode every Friday. So far, so good. And what's interesting is it's one of the characters I couldn't place who it were. At first, I thought it was Jeevan from watching the trailers. I didn't really get a chance to figure out who it was. And it's the same actor that plays the Indian dude from Sheldon the show there.
Oh, okay.
I
don't think is he
Big Bang Theory?
Big Bang Theory. Yeah.
Bang
So
Theory,
the quiet guy from Big Bang Theory is on the show, and he's got a completely different personality. Now, I've never seen him play it. I know. But the thing is, though, tell me something you've watched with him in it that wasn't Big Bang Theory.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's the only version of him I know. The only version of him I know is playing that character. So seeing him in a different character and even physically looking a little bit different too. It was like, whoa, it's the same dude. But
it's kind of like when Tom Hanks went from comedy to drama.
Raj,
right?
thank you, Randy. Raj from Big Bang Theory.
Raj.
It's similar to that.
I think that's the danger of being in a television show, though, is that especially if you go on for as long as something like Friends or Big Bang Theory or anything like that, you're only identified as that character from that point on in your career, unless you really break out and do something else just completely opposite.
But how would somebody like, let's say, Jim Parsons ever break out of Sheldon? I mean, it seems impossible.
He doesn't need to. He's set for life.
He's done some things.
Yeah.
I mean, the only thing I knew him from was he had a bit part in Garden State, which he basically plays Sheldon.
Aside from doing theater, basically, because then you could kind of.
I saw him something. He played something serious, but I can't remember the show.
It was CSI. He played a victim.
That was a movie or something. I don't know.
So that show ran for what, 12 seasons or so? 10,
well,
12?
like I said last week, I was talking about the flight attendant.
Oh yeah.
We never got her name right, but
Kaylee,
Coco
or something.
Coco Boko
Kaylee
Chico. Kaylee Kuko.
I think that's how it is. Kuko.
Kaylee have a cuckoo and a smile.
C-U-O-C-O. Listeners, tell us if we're wrong by emailing us.
I'm looking at.
You know what Big Bang Theory needed to really give it a kick was Richard.
More
Grieco.
laugh track.
Richard Grieco.
Richard Grieco. Yeah, that would have been great.
Can you imagine having that group and then having Richard Grieco in there? It'd been great.
He'd come and say nerds. That's it.
Yeah.
I'm looking at his IMDb page really quickly, and almost everything that he's done outside of Big Bang Theory has been voiceover. So he really hasn't done anything.
Jim Parsons.
No.
Raj.
Yeah, it's Kunal Nayar.
You got that, but you can't get Kelly Cuckoo.
Kelly Cuckoo.
Hey, I'm not the one who fucked up Kelly Cuoco's name.
You should have a normal name.
Cuco.
Yeah.
Is that what I said? Did I say, or did I say Cuco? Cokie?
Kaylee.
Cuoco.
We nailed it.
Cuoco. Anyway.
Yeah, I've recently been watching Young Sheldon with my kids. They really enjoy that show.
He's getting pretty old, isn't he?
The kid that plays Young Sheldon? Yeah, he is. One of the kids I noticed in season 4, Billy, who plays his next door neighbor.
Billy.
His voice definitely dropped in season.
I wish I could make it better.
And one of my kids noticed it tonight. They were like, his voice is different.
To me, he looks too much like the kid from Problem Child, and I just want to slap him.
You mean Billy?
Wait, who's that?
The kid that's in the Young Sheldon. You remember the 90s movies with John Ritter?
Are you talking about that kid. Sheldon, or are you talking about Billy?
I'm talking about the Young Sheldon.
I haven't watched
the Young Sheldon. He looks like the kid from Problem Child, and both of them, they have the most slappable faces that there is.
Agreed.
Oh, there's definitely moments where you want to slap.
Well, that kid was in Big Little Lies.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
He was the son of the girl that's the actress that's engaged to Aaron Rodgers.
Oh shit.
I'm sorry,
Wow.
I couldn't get Kelly Cuckoo. There's no way I'm gonna get her name.
Cuoco.
So, Cuoco.
You got it. I think you nailed it there. Clever name. So
Thank you. I mean, to be fair, I got it right last week when we talked about
Jack,
it.
say my
fuckers wouldn't listen to me.
Jack, say my name on my screen here.
Axamododea.
No, I know Chris.
Wait, there's no D in it.
Doesn't matter. Hey, how's my name? How's my name spelled?
Oxa.
How's my last name spelled?
I guess Chris can't say it. Maybe Mac knows.
Axamoxoa?
Nope.
It says go Rams.
Axamoxol. No, my real last name.
No, it's a Grateful Dead album name.
It's called
Axamoxoa.
Amoxoa.
Oxamoxoa.
Axamoxoa.
Oh.
Axamoxoa. Axamoxoa.
There you
go. Shailene Woodley. Is that David Woodley's daughter?
No, that's the girl that you were just referencing. But
I know.
I mean, Matt Treese is definitely keeping us on point.
David Woodley's a quarterback from the Pat. Miami Mike should know him.
I like Shailene Woodley. She's got a terrible taste in men, but I like her nonetheless.
Apparently, she's a little cuckoo, though.
Is she? Is she Cuoco?
Yeah.
It's right there.
Well, she's an actress, right? So that's
Well, just like things I've read about her, like she's just kind of eccentric, like to a fault.
Well, don't you have to be that way to date Aaron Rodgers, right?
I mean, one would think, right?
I mean,
I think you have to be eccentric to want to do a podcast with 3 other men every night. Every night.
Wow.
So we're going back. We're going back to your. Are we going back to your John's list?
Who the fuck you podcast?
John,
but you fucking podcast slut.
Yeah,
I know.
Hey guys, Joanne Worley. Yes, I know Joanne Worley.
Start calling you Robin.
Yeah, you were
tune in tomorrow for sledding in stiff jeans.
I'm
going to pre-freeze these jeans before I go out there.
I got my sledding action in. So
sponsored by Johnson & Johnson Extreme lotion
lubricants.
Yes.
You got to get something to get those jeans off.
You guys done? Are you guys?
I mean, I can keep going if you want me to.
Not really.
Who's Randy's a little illegitimate love child? Oh, Randy in the chat.
Yeah, Randy in the chat. That's me. Oh. Randy's illegitimate love child. I recently got my 23andMe results back. So,
okay.
It was something.
You find
my
out
wife...
you're just white.
I did. I found out I was white. That was exactly it. I was like, oh, that checks out. So
again, most people that get it are disappointed. It's like if you haven't done it, don't do it because you're just going to go. You were lied to your whole life.
I don't think I was really upset about that. I mean, I didn't.
You guys talking about your first time? What are you talking about?
My 23andMe results. Oh,
hey. Eastern European.
Oh, hey, let me. Nick is showing off his ancestry.
I'm
there.
Chris.
You mean
That's
Chris?
cool.
Sorry.
That's Chris. Clever name, Chris.
Oh, I don't punch old people.
Oh, you're like 47% Eastern.
Eastern,
European?
Yeah,
that explains the anger issues. Yeah.
No, I'm Polish.
Yeah.
I'm Polish, bud. I'm Polish. My grandparents are my dad's side they came here from Poland. So
Really?
47% Polish.
You want to hear some good jokokes? Oh,
I got plenty of them.
No.
21% Irish.
Mm-hmm.
French, German, 90%. You're more than that because I'm only like 46%.
20% English.
I'm very English.
Yeah, I'm let's see here. I am 97% northwestern European, and I'm 100% European. That apparently,
but that will change as time goes on.
Oh, will it?
They'll keep updating it because at one point I was more English and Scottish.
Okay.
And then German and French took over.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I've got some Spanish, Portuguese.
No Indian. No American Indian.
I know. I was so disappointed.
And you white people crack me up. You take tests to confirm that you're white. What the hell?
I was never more disappointed in all my life.
No, but it's interesting you bring this up though, because I actually I did the ancestry DNA, and what that does that if you opt in, you can congrats on your black hair, little or no black hair.
Yeah.
Oh, back hair.
But does it say back hair?
That's actually funny. That's funny. I thought that said black hair. I was like, oh, okay.
I did the same exact thing, and my daughter was just looking at me like, "When is he gonna notice it?"
Yeah.
And I just was like, "Oh, it says back hair," and she's like, "Dad, you're so old."
So I opted in to have be connected to like the DNA web, if you will, and then
yes, I did do that.
I actually got a message today randomly that from somebody who's connected to me through DNA and wanted to kind of like compare our family trees and whatnot. I haven't responded to them. Not sure if I'm going to, but it's kind of cool that they're out there.
Like I said, I think I said this about a year ago. It's a great dating site for people in the South.
Yeah,
you live in the South.
Hey, can I show you guys?
Wow, I got some hot first cousins.
I got to show you guys an iPhone trick. As someone who's worked for the company for 11 years, I did not know this is actually a thing. But when you're in your iPhone and you have an emails, you're deleting emails. You swipe each one.
Right.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I did too until today. Because you can just do this and then with two fingers go.
Oh, I did not know that
yes.
I didn't see it. I wasn't looking.
I'll do it again. So instead of going one by one and deleting them, swiping to the left, swiping to the left, swiping to the left, if you take two fingers and just go like that and archive.
Okay.
Light up.
I'm looking hands.
Sorry.
Two fingers.
Oh, good.
So I think
Like Randy.
I think Ed Smith wanted to, exactly same. Like Ed Smith and Randy both want to know: is there a test out there for sheep to know percentages?
What's this?
I think the test results came back, and it was
He does have curly hair.
He's got to get a DNA test.
And some back hair.
All right, that's it. I'm done.
Yeah, I'm 58% French. And
Nobody
German.
cares. Hey, how's your
30%.
Neanderthal though?
A Neanderthal?
Yeah, how's your Neanderthal
I'm
DNA?
pretty good. Spanish and Portuguese. I'd moved up. I'm almost at 1%.
I've got some Spanish and Portuguese. Maybe we're related on 20.
We could be.
Yeah.
So did y'all all do the same test as in the same company or
23andMe.
23. Yep.
I did Ancestry.
Okay.
Greater London, County Cork, Ireland.
County
My
Cork.
family's from County Cork.
Yeah.
I did like finding out certain if I have a genetic predisposition for certain illnesses. That part was a little scary though, because I was just like, okay, I kind of want to know this, but I'm also kind of like worried. You're kind of like,
Did it have like 19% chance of getting hurt on a sled?
John wants us to know that he is Mexican.
Although the one
let's do the test, John.
Yeah, let's do the test, John. You don't know.
He's gonna come back white.
Yeah.
Christopher, based on your DNA, we think you might drink more caffeine than average. That is absolutely true.
Yeah, that's probably for me too.
One thing that I did find out on mine is that my muscle composition is common in elite power athletes. So there you go. I am definitely
okay.
Yeah.
So
based upon
you're the
DNA,
sled master.
It says I will probably like the taste of cilantro. I do like the taste of cilantro.
My wife said she would hate it tastes like soap, and that's what it tastes like to her.
Yeah.
What does it say?
It says basically for my height, and my age, I should
weigh 227
pounds. They got that wrong, so they're off by a little bit. Maybe it's that elite power muscle composition.
Trust the science, Matt.
No, a lot of stuff I was pretty impressed by. I did like to know some of the wellness or the health things, and my daughter was really into it. You know, she was like, "Oh, I want to." You know, she was like, "Well, you know, you have like basically we have a similar physical build," and so she's like, "Well, whatever happens to you, I'm probably gonna get. So, like, what do you got, Dad?"
It's true. It's interesting, and then I'm always fascinated with like things that skip a generation, like every other, you know, because that definitely
like
happens.
Hair loss.
Yeah, hair loss can happen, and then like what was it? Like psoriasis, for example, I know does that. Like my dad got a touch of it, but his parents didn't have it. But my grandmother's father had psoriasis, and so it was like, oh, it skipped one, you know. And then, but yeah, all that stuff's neat. Just muscle composition, hair loss, like all these things that kind of just are underlying genes that kind of could pop up just randomly. Like curly hair. My hair was curly up until I was about 34, and no one in my entire family has curly hair that I know of.
So you're like Prince Andrew. What's the youngest prince? He doesn't look anything like Prince Charles.
Right, he's the ginger.
He looks like the bodyguard.
Yeah, Harry.
Harry, yes.
My father had psoriasis, and I got it.
Oh, did you? Okay.
It sucks. I get it real bad, like real fucking bad.
Your legs, knuckles, what?
Everywhere.
Oh, okay.
I mean, everywhere.
Huh.
It sucks. Yeah, because and I actually take medication monthly. I get 2 injectable pens that I inject myself once a month. I know I shouldn't be complaining about that to you, Nick. I apologize. I only have to do 2 injections a month. You actually have the pod now, don't you?
I have the pod, yes. I'm good.
Yeah, but you used to not have the pod.
I used to inject multiple times a day, yeah.
Right. So I take 2 injections a month to stave off the psoriasis. It's actually pretty bad. Like if you look at I don't know if you can see it. You can see my elbow.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, it's not bad. Yeah, but
that's nothing.
Yeah.
Like without the medication, it would be from like down here on my tricep all the way up to about right here. That's how bad it gets. And I get it on my ankles, all around the joints, and like the skin folds. And then if you get in your junk, man, it's fucking terrible, and it happens. Yeah, it sucks, and you can't put anything on it either because that skin is not not susceptible to steroid creams or anything like that.
So this time it's a good time for a commercial break.
Yeah, sure is.
Jeez, if we end this show now, we don't need to.
No, because I'm getting squeamish.
Yeah. So what's Randy says it's terrible in the sack. It really fucking is terrible in the sack. But what it leads to now I'm in my 40s and I've had psoriasis. I think I started getting it real bad in my mid to late 20s, and I've been dealing with it ever since. But now in my 40s, I'm starting to get arthritis from it. So you get,
really?
So it's the same nerve endings that are affected by arthritis also affect the skin inflammations, which is why arthritis treatments work well as psoriasis treatments and vice versa. So I take Cosentix, which is you'll probably see an advertisement for it somewhere now because you heard me say it. But it's the one that like Cyndi Lauper, I think. Cosentix.
Oh yeah.
Cyndi Lauper does commercials for it or whatever. And it helps with both. So every once in a while, like I'll wake up and my ankle will be like fucking fused. I can't even fucking move my ankle around, and it sucks. You can't.
Do you have restless leg syndrome at night too?
No.
Do you have that? Oh, okay. I know that.
Now you're just listing side effects.
Yeah.
No. I'm just like I wake up sometimes with like weird.
Anal seepage.
No, actually, I don't. It's not.
So, that being said, people who have psoriasis typically don't like to talk about it, and I'm fine with talking about it because I've dealt with it for years now. So, if there's anybody listening that has a question about psoriasis,
anything now,
I will be happy to chat with you.
It's anything that's that's visibly people bother. It's like baldness, impotency, psoriasis, anything that's like can cause embarrassment. They don't want to talk about it.
Yeah,
but it's like same as like I know we've talked about that when I became diabetic. Like you're kind of embarrassed about it until you finally just get used to it and say, fuck it, because people know it's like because people, especially a lot of people, don't know a lot about diabetes. They just know like, oh, like it means you can't have sugar, right? Or you can't have sugar. I'm not sure what it is, and then they think, oh, you're gonna die. When are you gonna die? My sister, only thing she knew about diabetes was Steel Magnolias, which Julia Roberts dies from diabetes in it. She's like, oh my god, like how many years do you have? I'm like, I'm not fucking Julia Roberts, Brooke. I'm gonna be fine, And she's
Julia
like,
Roberts, she died.
Yeah, and no, not in real life.
From a bee sting.
Yeah. From a bee sting. Yeah. Oh,
Thomas.
He doesn't have his glasses.
Which movie?
He can't see without his glasses.
You've never seen Steel Magnolias, Jack? You should watch that. That's a good.
We're talking about My Girl. That's a crossover of My Girl versus Steel Magnolias.
I've seen My Girl, but I haven't seen the Steel Magnolias.
Yeah, Steel Magnolias came out in like '89, I think, and it's with Sally Fields and Dolly Parton, and it's got an all-star cast. It's really good.
You've never seen Steel Magnolias?
Dukakis is in it, isn't she?
Mm-hmm.
Olivia Dukakis.
I think so, isn't she?
Yeah, yeah, I think so. I think you're right.
Yeah, that was like the most.
That's why Jack never watched it.
Steel Magnolias was like the most popular movie of like for moms when we were growing up. Like that was like the mom movie.
Oh yeah.
Well, see, I did
Beaches.
My mom was
right?
Beaches.
I've never seen
Beaches. You don't need to see.
Prince
You'll never
of
know
Tides.
that I'm your hero.
Yeah, Beaches is just sad.
Yeah,
Beaches is sad. Yeah,
we used to call it something else.
It's like a female version of the
bitches.
That is not what I was meaning to say next. I was going to say it was a.
Well, no, that's what we used to call. I didn't think we could say that anymore. So.
This is a free podcast, Jack. We're not in Russia, as you tell me. So, but some of the things that you say on
America,
here
this is bad
to haunt you. So,
Joe Rogan. The whole Joe Rogan thing, I haven't really been following it too closely. What shocked me is he makes $100 million from Spotify.
Well, I think that's what they
do his podcast.
They paid him, I think, to do his podcast $100 million. Like he was doing it somewhere else, and then Spotify paid him that amount to bring it to Spotify.
Correct.
Yeah, I was like, I almost fell off my chair when I read that. I go, holy shit!
I like this. It's like the Boba Fett for Star Wars movies. So, I think you're referring to.
Boba Fest.
I know, but I think he misspelled that. Maybe
we should have
maybe it was
a
an
party and call it Boba Fest.
But I like Boba. Maybe he did. Maybe he meant to put Boba Fest.
People can come from
Boba Fest.
It looks
from
more
around
like
the world
Fest on the way he spelled it. But that's okay. We're not taking off points.
I mean, you just did. You fucking called him out on the podcast for misspelling it.
Now, not only that, you put it up there for everyone to see.
Let's do it again.
Just shaming this.
No. Because
this
he
is
does
like his second week watching us live.
Is it because he's from Canada?
Yeah,
I think the show should be called
Canada.
Yeah, you just because we pick on you doesn't mean give you the license to pick on other people.
Right.
This is why I got this migraine headache whenever I do this show. And it's
you sure? Could be a tumor.
No,
it's not a tumor.
Oh, so speaking of that, okay. So all right, listen. So I'm at work. Yes, 2 days ago.
That's true. That's true, Kim. We pretty much don't like those movies.
And I was talking.
I like those.
I didn't say that. You can.
Yeah,
you can put yourself in whatever category you want.
Hey, I'm watching The Gilded Age on HBO.
I was at work the other day, and we're talking with a group of people at work, and I realized another one of those moments where how fucking old I'm getting.
How fucking old?
Start talking about Arnold Schwarzenegger, and one of my employees legitimately has no fucking idea who Arnold is.
You should slap that.
That was my question. How is that even possible?
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, as far as I'm concerned, and maybe that's probably the reason why I'm thinking the wrong way. I think he's probably one of the most, if not the most recognizable Hollywood actors.
Absolutely.
Whatever.
Well, he used to.
Even if you've never seen a movie of his, you probably know who he is.
That's what I'm saying. Like, he's recognizable, and he's been around for 40, 50 years, right?
I mean, I've never seen a Rock Hudson film.
He was the fucking governor of California. Like, he was the governor. But
California. He always said it wrong.
But it blew my mind when it wasn't just one person, because once one person said another person's like, I don't know who that is either. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, I am fucking ancient.
People wanted Arnold Schwarzenegger to run for president, but he couldn't because he wasn't born here in America. But then he ran. Then he was the governor of California, and the people said, "Okay, we're done with that."
Oh, it came up because someone asked me what my favorite action movies were, and I said Die Hard and Terminator 2.
And Boba Fest.
You didn't say Predator?
I didn't say Predator. I said Terminator 2 and Die Hard.
Sledge sheeping artist, great artist.
Christ. Sherry says, suddenly Chris is turning into Jack. Fuck.
It happened. You get to a certain age. Matt will tell you. You get to a certain age, and you start getting frustrated with people.
I started writing pad when I went to write paid on orders. And I was like, am I having like a moment here? I kept leaving the I out. So
it just sounds funny, doesn't it? Pad.
But yeah, it is weird though that somebody would not know who Arnold Schwarzenegger, like, because he was a governor. Even I mean that alone, right? And then all of the movies, Get to the Chopper, and like, I mean, how would you? I just don't. Yeah, that's a weird one. So.
Chris Dorn brings a good point up. Not that anyone would ever say that, but is it true that Paul McCartney was in a band before Wings? What
about Will Johnson's comment here? Terminator 1 greater than Terminator 2.
Disagree.
That's a debate. Hold on, I want to bring it because I think I actually mentioned this a few weeks back. Where
I only saw the
a young woman that I was talking to did not know Gwen Stefani was in a band. She had never heard of No Doubt. She just knew her from other things, and you're like, really?
No Doubt.
But yeah, okay. Now
she turns it out.
Now we can talk about Terminator. To me, James Cameron has only had one original idea, and that was Terminator.
Titanic.
But Titanic's not really an original idea.
Well,
it's because Terminator.
He pulled it off. Let's face it.
But you look at Terminator, and then basically it's some kind of menace. And then you have a protector for something else. Then you have Aliens, which is the same story. It's just with aliens instead of Terminators. And then Terminator 2 is just a remake of Terminator. It's the same thing over and over again. Then you said like Titanic is not really original story. Our Avatar is just Fern Gully.
But my point on Titanic though was when I first heard he was, I go, what the fuck do we need? We know it sank. All right, we get it. How are you gonna have it? And then you heard it was going to be a long movie. How can you have a long movie about a boat that sank?
Yeah. You fucking crushed it with Titanic. Titanic's a fucking great movie, dude. Like
it's a great movie.
It's about a
the Steel Magnolias of the 90s.
It's about a sociopath that goes on a 3-day fuck fest who then steals and kills her lover. That's what Titanic is about.
Yes, it is.
That's
Rose
what
is
the
most
movie
selfish
sociopath on a fuck fest. I like it. That has to be the episode title.
I did a video.
I don't think I could put fuck fest.
No. Sociopath on a Baba Fest.
I like it. Yeah.
I did a video about Rose being the most selfish person in the world, and you know how many times I've been called a sexist? It's all tongue in cheek, but people go, "You're just a sexist." In the comments.
I think they're calling you a sexist for other things.
Yeah,
it's just now catching up to you. You're like, they keep yelling it at you because you're just walking through Target, yelling at things and saying, "That's got a gender to it."
Well, I mean, if you really break down Titanic logically, it really is a strange movie because you have this spoiled girl on this boat. Her mother is trying her best just to give her a successful life. She spits in her mother's face.
Ex-wife.
She tries to kill herself. Then she, leaves. She steals the diamond from the rich guy that her mother's trying to get her to hook up with.
Billy Zane, who's actually
sleeps
bald.
with a drifter.
A drifter.
Yeah, that's what he is. He's a drifter. When you think about it, he's a drifter. Then she lets him die on the door when there's plenty of room.
Plenty of room.
Then so much room. Bill Paxton then, because he's looking for the Hope Diamond or whatever it's called, not the Hope Diamond, the Jewel of the Ocean or Heart of the Ocean or whatever.
Heart of the Ocean.
He tells her this whole story how he's invested so much money into finding this jewel. He takes her butt out there in the middle of the ocean. She has it on her the entire time. Then she just chunks it over the side and then dies. Then her entire idea of heaven is to go meet the guy that she had the 3-day fuck fest with instead of the husband that she had children with and grew old with. The woman is a sociopath.
I say that in my video. Plus, I go, she throws the diamond over. How many homeless people could she have fed?
Yeah.
By just donating the. She didn't have to give it to Bill Paxton.
Selfish beach.
Bill Paxton, made money down there. He was in Apollo 13, all that different stuff. He made money. But she takes the diamond and throws it in the water.
Potentially could be selfish beaches.
I'm just going to say, Raise the Titanic. Raise the Titanic is better than Titanic. If anyone saw that really terrible movie. Anyway, what do we got here?
Jack's biggest takeaway from Titanic is how does Billy Zane be so popular when he's so bald?
Well, he's wearing a wig.
Billy Zane never got his Twitter taken away.
Nice.
Oh man.
Christ.
Billy Zane was a dick in Back to the Future. That's all I got.
So Will Johnson,
So many lines.
right before we got into the Titanic chat, he mentioned Terminator 1's better than Terminator 2. I don't agree with that statement because of the time,
I agree with Will.
Terminator 2 was like the first that I recollect big special effects blockbuster movie. That did it right. They were the first generation of the next generation special effects.
The CGI,
CGI. Sorry, CGI.
Yeah.
I'll rephrase that.
Because you had hints of CGI in the 80s. Like the first movie I think with CGI is Star Trek 2, and it's just the scene where it's the Genesis wave going over the planet.
Genesis wave, yes.
Yeah. And then, you have little bits here and there. But, like another James Cameron film, though, The Abyss, that's like the true first film where it had like a lot of CGI in there.
Right.
Abyss was just a Titanic.
Abyss was basically him like working out the technology for Terminator 2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And Terminator 2 has that awesome Guns N' Roses song. So, which it could have been mine.
Yeah, well, I mean, Use Your Illusion 1. Oh, so there was a video that came out on TikTok. Now we're going to different branches here. So in the matter of 6 months or 60 days or something like that, crazy, like all these albums came out in 1991 that were just insane. So like Use Your Illusion 1 and 2, Metallica's Black, all these albums all came out like right next to each other. Like the Pixies album came out. All that stuff happened in 1991, which then led to another conversation. Pearl Jam's 10, like all this stuff, which led to another conversation about how 90s music was so underrated at the time.
Well, I mean, the thing is that you have that, whereas in the 80s, you can kind of break it down into 3 sections. Like, you have the new wave, early 80s, and then you have the mid 80s, which is more like Michael Jackson, and then the late 80s, you get the full-on hair metal or hair band stuff. And then it just dies roughly right there at 1990. And then 91 is like, to me, 90s music is more segmented to me because like you have the death of the 80s and 90. You have 91, which is like, to me, the peak of 90s music. Then it switches gears almost to where you get
Soundgarden was one of the albums, by the way.
Yeah, that's it, yeah. But then you get the like 92, 93 period, you get the funk rap, Snoop Dogg, Dr. Dre, you get a lot of this stuff like that. Then you transition into mid-90s, so you're getting like live, Presidents of the United States of America, no doubt. You're getting a lot of this kind of popish, but still kind of rock. And then you shift into later rap, like Notorious B.I.G., Tupac, even though Tupac had been around, but like, the peaks are more there. And then it just takes a huge nosedive into boy band. But that's me. That's my opinion.
Like the Beatles.
The Beatles are totally different than
Beatles are a boy band.
But they actually wrote and played their own music. You don't see Backstreet Boys and NSYNC over there like writing shit.
I wanna hold you.
But yeah, it's like but
they didn't dance. Boy bands in the
Notorious R.C.A.D. So there's actually I recall there's actually a documentary series on HBO which goes by the decades, and 90s is one of them, one of the seasons, and they cover.
Shut up, Matt.
That's funny. That was pretty funny. They go through one of the episodes is about the 90s music scene, and it's actually pretty impressive, like the amount of amazing music that came out in the 90s.
I'm not a big 90s music fan. I just throw it out there.
Cool.
I was going to go on a bathroom break and just post that and just I just don't think it's easy to categorize all of 90s music. It's just like it goes out.
It's awesome.
So many different ways.
I just say crap.
I loved it.
Like I remember watching MTV back when they had music on it.
Yeah,
and I remember they're doing like these interviews like on the streets of people like, what music are you excited to listen to? Blah blah. What's your next thing? And I remember watching this kid being interviewed, and he's saying, I really dig the new Pearl Jam album. And I'm like, what the fuck did he just say?
Story a long time ago. Yeah.
I'm like, what did he just say? he's like, I'm looking forward to the Pearl Jam album being released. I'm like, who's Pearl Jam? And then like 2 weeks later, it's like the biggest album in the country.
No joke.
Also, my first CD.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that was
Justice
wasn't my
for
first
All.
CD, but
Justice for All was my first CD.
Nice.
Definitely up there as far as some of the early CDs that I bought. So.
First CD I bought. The first CD that was purchased for my house was the My Girl soundtrack.
Hey, ain't no shame.
Because the My Girl soundtrack is like Forrest Gump Jr. as far as like soundtracks go.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
It's definitely a nostalgia CD like Forrest Gump, and then what's the one from the '80s film?
Definitely not as strong as
Chill. The Big Chill.
Big Chill is one of the best soundtracks ever pressed.
My dad had that. One.
Wasn't Tom Selleck in the Big Chill?
No. But you know who was in the Big Chill?
I thought he
was in the Big Chill.
Kevin Costner.
I thought he played the dead guy.
Exactly.
No, I thought
Kevin Costner's the dead guy.
Yeah, but he actually had scenes, but they were all cut.
They cut them all out.
Yeah, they cut them out.
Who's Selleck or Costner?
Costner.
What am I thinking of then?
Tom Berenger, Glenn Close, Jeff Goldblum, William Hurt, Kevin Kline, Mary Kay Place, Meg Tilly, Jo Beth Williams, Don Gallo, James Gill, Ken Place.
Mary Kay Place has a long resume.
So Ed Smith brings up
Jake Kasdan's in it.
Sorry,
that's weird. Sorry,
Ed Smith brings up what's your first concert? It's like a first date.
Jimmy
Beach
Buffett.
Boys.
Oh yeah, I saw the Beach Boys too.
John Stamos.
But I guess the first one that I remember going
I saw the John Stamos.
Where people
it wouldn't have been Stamos. This would have been like 85.
Okay.
85-ish.
Did you see them in a state fair?
No, I saw them at an outdoor park. It's called it's in Massachusetts. Called what the hell is it called?
Humble brag for Ed seeing the Ramones first.
Oh, nice, dude. So,
my first
Tanglewood is that Tanglewood, which is this big, huge place where James James Taylor plays it every year. And
John, the Mexican
Boston
UPS
Pops.
guy, says Journey in 81. And Chris Dorn said Van Halen 1984. Now, are you talking about the album or the year?
Wait, hold on a second. John,
which actually came out in 83.
John's first concert was in 81.
John's first concert was in 81? Yeah.
That just doesn't add up.
It seems like it would. Are you thinking that he should be earlier or later?
He's always
my first concert was in 85.
Well, you were 4 or 5.
I was 5.
Will Johnson says Budweiser Music Festival in Chicago.
Oh, nice. A whole bunch.
All right, let's look at that lineup, shall we? 1995.
The Budweiser Music Festival in Chicago in 95 seems like it should have had a good festival. Yeah. You know.
The Tom Selleck movie I was talking about was Coma.
Jeremy said Iron Maiden in 2009. Yep.
Nice. Winterland. That'd been cool.
Kim mentions Styx, Winterland, San Francisco in 1971.
Dude.
Way ahead.
Winterland would have been a cool venue to see. It closed in 80 or 89, 79.
John was 14.
I was 14. Yeah. So Will Johnson's Budweiser Music Festival at 95 was pretty fucking epic. It was Boys to Men,
nice,
TLC, Montel Jordan, Brownstone, Mary J. Blige,
Ooh.
Maze featuring Frankie Beverly and Gerald Levert.
That was on the second stage.
Don't know that last one. Yeah, I know the rest of that's like pretty kick-ass lineup. Yeah,
Ain't too proud to beg. Yes, they have the set list and everything. It's awesome.
My first concert was Dean Martin.
What?
Dean
Oh, wow.
Martin.
How old are
Holy
you?
crap!
Jesus, like you guys tease me about my age. This kid's like back in the '60s, swinging with the
we were in California for a convention.
California.
My parents, California. And we were driving back. And we stopped in Vegas, and he was performing in Vegas in 1988.
That's awesome.
So
Not a lot of people can
88.
say they've seen Dean Martin in concert.
Yeah,
I know I haven't.
yeah, because he only died. He died a few years later. Like I think he died in 94, 95.
Crazy.
So,
Something like that. After his son died.
yeah.
His son was a Army reservist or Air Force.
Well, it's really
crashed into a mountain.
Jeremy in the chat says his first concert was last year.
really
During
Wonderful
COVID.
show for a
Sledding
second.
sheep.
Oh,
You know, I'm racking my brain.
He
can't
mentioned
think of my
earlier
first
that it was
concert.
Iron Maiden in 2009.
Oh.
I can't think of my first concert.
I think Sledding Sheep,
Wonderful for a
2021.
The second sheet.
Wait, is Sledding Sheep the name of your band, Matt? Because
Oh my god, I fucking didn't realize that he was just busting your balls. And that is fucking great. Like I read that
Hey,
literally.
there's your show title.
Yeah.
Holy shit!
My band is
Sledding
called
Sheep
Shredding.
2021
Shredding
is
Sheep.
the episode.
Shredding
It's called
Sheep.
Shredding Sheep.
Holy smokes, that's fucking funny. You
But
got
yeah,
me.
whatever, guys. You know, it's cool. It's cool, man.
I saw Rod Stewart in concert. That was my first like arena show. That was awesome.
I saw Huey
And then-
Lewis in the news.
And then my first show without my parents was Stone Temple Pilots, and Local H opened up for them. It was fucking.
Did they play their song?
I'll tell you.
Who, Local H?
No. Stone Temple Pilots. Did they play their song? Their song.
Are you insinuating they're a one-hit wonder band? Because if you are, you're sorely fucking mistaken.
That's what Sled Boy's saying.
I'm just saying that there is one song that comes to mind when I think of them.
What
You
Vaseline?
never saw
You put your pants on?
Neil Diamond, Matt?
What?
You never saw Neil Diamond?
Me? No.
Yeah.
Why would I see Neil Diamond?
Forever in Blue Jeans.
You should have seen that coming. Dean Martin didn't die in 64, Sherry. He died in 94. Or I think 94.
Or at least that's what my parents told me that man did to me.
It's just a wax figure up there. I'll tell you another really weird concert that I saw.
95.
Actually, it wasn't Dean Martin. It was just some drunk guy with a cigarette.
Exactly. That's more. I saw the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in concert as well. I don't know if you guys remember that tour. That is 1989 and 90.
Do you still have the ticket stub for that
That's
one?
awesome.
I don't know if I had the tickets that because I've kept most of my tickets. I didn't. Even
Jay will
remember
buy it.
I didn't even remember that I went. I think I found the pamphlet or the brochure that comes when you go in, and I was like, oh fuck, I forgot I went to that. 'Cause I was just a little kid, but
That's funny.
But you remember Dean Martin.
because it was Dean Martin. And then I remember, like all kids, you're like, what the fuck am I watching? Because, you can't appreciate Dean Martin when you're 7 years old.
Did you watch his celebrity roasts each week?
I've seen some of them because my dad loved them. So.
Yeah, my dad loved them.
Well, nice little memory lane trip we just took there.
Yeah.
I'm yearning for the day that we can go back to full bore concerts again.
Yeah, for real.
It's got to be coming soon, right?
Last summer, I kind of did.
You know
that
Billy
show I
Strings
went to in the
is?
Gorge was packed.
You know who Billy Strings is, don't you, Chris?
Yeah, the guy
Yeah.
who does the show with Bill Cressman.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's really good,
Squire.
just acoustic player. Oh, he plays electric.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I did learn about him through you, so I now
Oh,
follow
did
him
you?
on,
Okay.
on Instagram, and I've seen a lot of his stuff now, which is great.
Yeah.
But
yeah, he's playing here in May, but they're already all sold out.
yeah, so I've got tickets to go see John Mayer next month. He just announced his band. He's got the drummer from oh shit, what band was it? I forgot. He's got a really great band built up for this tour. And what's interesting is that in Boston, the city regulations are you have to be vaccinated to be in any of the public buildings in Boston, and so you have to show vaccination, which I think is I'm fucking fine with it, dude. Like, great. That's just I feel you're Nick shaking his head and as very libertarian of a way as possible. I get it. I understand they don't want to show cards, but from a personal comfort perspective,
why do you like him? Matt?
Going into a concert knowing that everybody who's there has to show their vaccine card. I don't know. It makes me feel better. It does. Fuck it.
Makes you feel better.
I don't give a shit.
Super weird, John.
Like, so here's the deal. I mean, if you don't like it, then don't go to the show. Better seats for me.
Wow, this took a turn.
Yeah. I'm
Fuck it.
just gonna stay silent.
Yeah.
You're trying real hard.
Yeah.
We don't want to lose our $100 million.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
So just keep quiet.
Next thing I know, Neil Young's gonna pull his listenership from the Jane Jack Network, and then we're fucked.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
I don't need you to mansplain music to me.
That was 10 minutes ago, Matt.
I know.
God, man.
Just now catching up to this conversation.
I already gave you a high five for that.
I wasn't really explaining it to you. I was just making a general statement. You guys were listening.
No, I know. We were kind of forced to.
How many times have you had to defend that statement there, Nick?
Yeah, many times.
I wasn't mansplaining. You were just listening to my explanation. Of
Look, like Jack had a whole podcast called Jack's Rants. Okay, I'm just following.
I thought he was going through a dark time. Then. I was like, "You need a friend, buddy."
Sherry says her daughter lost her vaccine card. Oh no, not Siri. I said Sherry.
That's Siri. Okay. You can make those. I know
you can make one up. That's one way of doing it.
Antonio Brown sells them.
Yeah, talk to Antonio. But if you go to wherever you got them, they can just make you another one. But in the state of Massachusetts, they actually implemented a digital version of it, which I think is great.
Well, I like the Have you seen the politicians in
got mine right here, right in my wallet. You can just scan.
Fascist.
Well, have you seen the politicians that were at the NFC Championship game? You had Gavin Newsom, the governor. He was maskless, and then you had the mayor of LA. I think it was the mayor of LA. Both shots were with Magic Johnson. He got crap for taking a picture without his mask. He said, "I held my breath."
That's stupid. He shouldn't have said that.
Just say fuck. Yeah, just say it's Magic Johnson. I took my mask off to take the picture, put my mask back on.
I could never be a politician. I say things out there on my mind way too much.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I'd be not thrown into office, but yeah, I'd be elected and then unelected the next election.
Not taking a second term.
There'd be a recall, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just the politicians are so phony though.
What's funny about that photo, not the fact that they're not masked, is that Magic Johnson is immune compromised, and it's like if all the people that should be concerned, it should be Magic Johnson.
I thought he was cured.
He's never cured. He still has HIV. He's just he's on so much medication that it's been at bay for 30 years.
Yeah, it's been dormant.
Yeah. Because you just blend up money and inject it, and then you're good.
Yeah, you got money, you can do whatever you want.
Truth. I think we lost that.
I remember when that happened, when that was announced, I was like,
"Oh yeah, everybody thought it was a death sentence." It was a death sentence because Freddie Mercury had literally just died like 8 months before, and I
remember where I was when I heard that news. That was like one of those pinnacle moments in my childhood. You know where you were when you heard it. I remember exactly where I was when I heard that Magic Johnson had HIV.
And then players didn't want to play against him.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That's because nobody knew.
No one knew.
Like what? Yeah. And Magic Johnson arguably could be probably one of the pivotal moments in HIV research and bringing it to the public eye of understanding what it's all about and having people give a fuck about trying to figure it out because he was such a well-known person.
I saw his first game.
Have you guys seen just because we're talking about medical stuff? Have you seen because Fauci was back then? Have you seen that video of him talking about how you can catch HIV just by standing next to someone who has HIV?
No,
I didn't see that.
Yeah, and you're like, wow, like talk about being fucking wrong.
Yeah, things you learn.
Well, he should be thrown off Spotify.
Spotify. But the great thing about science is that we learn from it.
As long as you have the guts to question it.
Or the science to pursue it.
I'm saying that too. Yeah.
You know, I mean, you can't just be like, well, this happened to so-and-so without having actual data and research behind it.
It's true.
So
Yeah.
I went through a bit of so, you know, I think I discussed this last week about our family, like testing and what have you. And we'd gone through all the testing.
Where you made a lot of money.
I know, made so much money and basically gift cards that can only be redeemed for more COVID tests. But
is that really what it is?
No, I don't know. I have no idea. But I thought that would be a really hilarious, like, oh, here's $200 in gift cards that can be redeemed for COVID tests. But anyway, on Saturday morning, Sunday morning, really early, I woke up, had this horrible migraine. Thus, the migraine-themed artwork for tonight's show. And really wrecked me. I've never had a headache so bad where smells bothered me, you know, where like I was actually a lot more sensitive to certain things. And my wife had made this, it's called glug, I think. Glug. It's like I think it's like Scandinavian or Swedish. I should know since I'm that's part of my heritage. But anyway, she makes it every now and then. It's kind of like a mulled wine kind of, you know, port, you know, or something. I think you take port. Anyway, I don't drink it. And, but the smell just, oh my gosh, it just lingered in the air. And I was vomiting, like violently vomiting. I couldn't keep anything down. And I was like, this is it. I've got the fucking COVID. I heard about these symptoms, you know, horrible headache. And here I'm just on death's door.
So the other day you're just being a bitch.
Apparently.
Well,
I'm sorry. I'm kidding.
Well, let's be honest. Migraines are no joke.
I love you, man. I'm just kidding.
You
It
know?
was perfect timing.
I don't know how people. It's people that suffer from
from
migraines all the time. I don't know how they do it.
Clug. No, it's not Scandinavian for sheep. I'm not reading your shit.
What? You know, I don't like
this, sir.
What about the smell of wet wool? Was that like a really bad?
Well, because he doesn't mind the wet wool.
Oh, okay.
Look, for 12 hours, I was really just, and we had these COVID tests laying around, so I was okay, I'm going to take them, and you know, I negative. I didn't have a fever. I had the opposite of a fever. It was like 90. Was it like 97 or something? I don't know.
That's it.
And my wife, in these moments, can I just say that there's these moments when you're on death's door and your spouse is just kind of like, well, did you take that? Well, that's bad for you. And you're just like, fuck you. I ate a banana.
Go on. And you're on death's door with not COVID?
Yeah, my death's door was not COVID, but it just the way that my brain felt, it felt like somebody had a hand on my brain and was kind of like squeezing it in a vice, basically.
Maybe you were watching The Walking Dead.
No. I couldn't watch anything. Like
I was just saying, you're having a bad dream.
Oh. Anyway, that was my weekend. I felt like I lost an entire day. I slept.
Now, do you get migraines often?
I usually get. So let me pull up the. I told Nick that I would explain what this.
Oh yeah. With the I didn't get it either.
So these are your common headache types. You got.
Tell me where he touched you, man.
Well, you touched me right around there.
Tell me where you twisted your brain.
Usually, I get what's called a cluster headache right around my eyes.
I get those.
Yeah, I get those.
And I get the tension ones.
The old penis in the eye.
Yes, I get this a lot as well. And it kind of, with the tension headache, it kind of fluctuates to different parts behind my brain there. So, but this was just full on. Could not.
So why is it just half the face for the migraine? Like I don't.
Well, they're saying that half of the head is basically being affected, and I didn't have that where it was half. So perhaps I didn't have an official migraine. Mine was on the top of my head. Like I woke up and it was just the entire top of my head. It just felt
Should
like
you go to the hospital and get an MRI?
I'm wanting to go to the doctor to actually get my sinuses tested because I think I might have like a clogged passage that's causing some of this.
You just need a teacup.
Well, I'm swearing off alcohol because I had a beer that night, and that's not what I don't think did it. I think I had some maybe food poisoning. I don't know what
that just doesn't sound like good logic to swear off alcohol. I mean,
I am. I'm just beer.
I'm sorry. I'm laughing at the chat.
Have you guys ever had ocular migraine before?
No.
Ocular migraine.
Yeah, so basically, I've only known like two people that ever had. I get them from time to time, and then I've had a couple other. Like it's basically when you see like little shards of glass coming out of your eyes. It looks like we said, like when you see a broken glass and like the little slivers, you'll see them like moving in your eyes, like outward.
Wow.
Okay, I have not had that. I have the swirls.
The swirls. Okay.
The swirls. They kind of like they're like little They're like kind of little moving.
Are they squiggly lines, like kind of like little worms? Or...
They're not the floaters. I know what floaters are. Yeah. I know what they are. No, this is like a bright light.
Before this happened?
No, they're a real thing. You can look up ocular migraines, and that's what the only way you can describe them is like little like shards of glass moving in your eyeballs, like not like feeling, but like you can see them. Like
I'm reading the chat. I'm sorry. I apologize. Go ahead, keep talking. I had a toy headache.
Nice.
Good, Ed. I'm glad that you had a toy headache. Are you ready?
More like a Lego headache.
That's right.
I'm not laughing.
So we got to the point now when we stop giving you shit, the chat just picks it up and runs with it.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, don't know.
Like we don't even need. I mean,
it's not about us anymore.
I am going to pledge, Matt, that for the remainder of this episode, however much longer we have, which is not
5 minutes,
I won't say anything about you anymore. I will only reiterate what the chat says.
Okay. Yeah. I will do that. Sherry says, Matt, look up Vagal.
I totally read that.
I did too.
I totally read that.
Yeah, I read
was
something
like, holy
else.
shit. I didn't know you could have a migraine down there. It explains so much.
The squiggly lines on the outside of your visual spectrum.
So that's when
the squiggly lines are normal.
So when your wife says she has a headache.
Yeah, exactly. She has a headache.
That's what it's called. I read the same thing. I was like going, what am I reading? Okay. Sorry, Sherry.
Ed mentions that his boba head hurts. Is that down low? You can take a pill for that. So
I do have. Can I complain about
large
my wife
helmet?
For a second?
Go ahead. Yeah, complain about something other than me.
He's got a dent in the helmet.
My wife. I've talked about this
My
before.
wife.
She put, like I cleaned out this cabinet the other day. I kept getting tired of stuff falling out of the. So I cleaned up. So she's just throwing stuff back, but she doesn't put the caps back on stuff. You know, she doesn't. She just.
We just gotta read Chris's comment here. He says, "Best relief for migraines I have ever done. Close my eyes and count sheep." Oh yeah, we also have an email too.
And
go
ahead.
I'm counting sheep, and now I have a heart on. Let's see.
Miami Mike
all the
says,
blood from one head to the other.
The chat is the fifth host. So, and,
anyway, let me just do this real quick.
Holy fuck, Matt! The chat's relentless. The chat is worse than us.
You've done it, guys. You've done.
So anyway, my wife doesn't put lids on stuff, so she's making meatballs and stuff like that. So I, she makes spaghetti. So I get out the Parmesan cheese, and I go to shake it like this, loosen it all up. All the shit, the lid comes off. It's all over the floor. I just went. She goes, I forgot to tell you, I used the Parmesan cheese. I go,
that's not cheese. If you got real Parmesan cheese, you wouldn't have that problem.
I know she likes. We usually get the stuff we didn't get it the time. So, but anyway, go ahead.
Some people decide to write into this show other than just chiming in on the chat relentlessly, trying to bash me, and trying to get there.
Don't you feel special though? People remember you. Someday you'll be remembered forever.
Yeah,
these people will tell their.
I just imagine that my kids one day are going to be like, I'm going to check out Dad's podcast and see what that was all about. Damn, it's just them ripping on Dad the whole time. Man, I can't believe he took it.
No, they'd be like, Mom, did you know about the sheep?
To podcast with those assholes.
Did you know about the sheep?
Yeah. Did you know about Gretchen, Mom? Did you know about Gretchen?
That'll be the other
Chris
thing.
is dying over there because he promised not to say anything.
All right. So if you want to write into the show, send us an email.
Dad loved Ohio so much.
Send us an email at rcadcast@gmail.com.
Yeah, okay.
Okay,
on purpose.
Like Randy, who sent in a thought of the week. It says, it takes guts to be an organ donor.
It does.
Oh, that was... Yeah.
That's
a real thinker.
Email?
That was his
Mom, did you poison Dad?
Have you seen
Did
those?
you poison
I'm sure,
it?
Chris, you've seen those TikTok videos where my husband died from your husband died from
boredom.
Poison. He was poisoned to death, but he had bruises all over him. He goes, I know he wouldn't take it.
No, I haven't seen that. It's good though.
It's like the one where
we have another email.
By the way, go ahead.
Oh,
we have two emails.
We have two emails.
Wait, are they two from Randy?
No, this one's not a Randy thought of the week. This is Maggie actually wrote in right before the show began. She wrote in with this email. It says, ticket prices. Hey, Jack, Nick, Matt, and Boston. You were talking about ticket prices to big events last week. I had to check with my family members who have gone to big events. Here is what they paid. Super Bowl, February 2005, $500. World Series 2019, Nats, 1,000.
Damn! Wow.
National Championship 2022, $450. I am also watching Station 11.
2022. 2022.
Yeah, National Championship.
That's college football.
Okay.
So you were in my neck of the woods, or at least somebody that knew Maggie was, because the National Championship was here in Indy. I drive
Lucas Field.
I drive past Lucas Oil Field every day, or not every day, but when I go in to teach. Yeah. So, anyway, she says, I am also watching Station 11 with my friends on Sunday nights.
Nice.
We have 2 more episodes to go. I really like the show. It's interesting. I like how people connect in again.
Yeah.
So no spoilers for Station 11, please.
Yeah, no spoilers.
In honor of the Book of Boba Fett final tomorrow, Maggie the Mandalorian. Aw.
Nice.
Well,
nice. So
if only somebody didn't already
have
make
fucking had
artwork.
enough. People have had enough of your bullshit that they're actually emailing in saying, "No, this is my fucking name.
This is my name.
This is my fucking
name.
I like Maggie the Mandalorian. I don't care what
You're
else.
taking that last shred of control from
I
your
think it's the
dead
only
hands.
reason that Ed has joined us live tonight.
Did you read Miami Mike's thing here? Mom, did you push Dad on this slide?
Oh no, she was. I know she was definitely on a different field. I had to text her. I hurt myself. I'm sorry. I hurt myself.
And she goes, well, did
Mom,
you have
did you throw Mauser on Dad?
Yeah. Right.
Again, she was not home at that time.
But she trained
everything that I've ever done, I usually do to myself.
She gave you a little catnip on your nose.
But going to Maggie's email, I agree. Me and Chris have talked about this with Station 11. It is. I mean, that's why I didn't, when Chris first recommended it, and he said that people were comparing it to Lost, I didn't get that at all until you start watching it. And then you start to realize I see why people compare it to Lost. And it's what, like Maggie said, it's through relationships and that they all kind of come back around. I was like, no
spoilers.
Yeah, no spoilers. I'm not going to spoil it, but it's neat in how they kind of do that. I was like,
it's very well done.
Yeah.
John, the UPS guy, says, I hurt myself. Response, who's this?
No, what she really said was, this whiny bitch.
Who this? New phone. Who this?
Well, sorry you missed us last week because we recorded on Thursday and I didn't post it very much. I've been just as busy, so glad that I could get it all together and notify everybody that we were having the show. Usually we'll have it on Tuesday, but I think last week something came up with one of us.
I was sick. I just felt like crap.
Oh, that was what it was. And I tried to cut Jack out and just haven't
I said go ahead and do it without me.
When I said Owen and Baruz / RCAD, I meant we take over RCAD and we just talk about Star Wars.
We do that anyways.
I know we do. We do.
Who cares about building our listeners?
Who cares about Grogu and what he's doing? What's he thinking?
There goes our
about?
$100 million bonus.
Can you imagine that, like someone in a few days, like downloading this podcast and listening to like the first 30 to 40 minutes of this podcast, and what the fuck is happening? And then we just go back into our usual, let's just shit on Matt for half an hour, and then it's great.
Hey, to be fair, it was the chat.
It's the chat's fault. That's true.
I do wonder as a podcast listener, if you just picked up our show and you were like, this is your first show, you're like, what? Who are these guys? Why do I care about their lives? And why do they keep picking on this one guy?
I mean,
it's the chat.
That's probably the history.
Sure.
If you were
in the chat, that is exactly what the Nazis did.
There is a lot of inside jokes on this podcast that. What was that?
It was the chatter.
Did someone just have a Nazi joke? What happened?
Whoopi Goldberg.
I did. I slipped in a Nazi joke because I'm trying to end the show.
What?
No, we should pull it over. You know, it's early. You were up late or early. I'm going
now.
Sheep.
You got me all.
I took a 2-hour nap
for this.
You were such an old man. I had to take a nap before the show today.
Hey, I got 2 kids.
Okay, what else? What else you got? I already had my migraine story.
I did watch 2 movies. I want to talk about. I watched Nobody.
Nobody cares.
Oh, that's the movie. Yeah, the movie with Better Call Saul.
Bob Odenkirk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
actually,
Bob Odenkirk.
It's actually because you don't see him as he's like a
he's like a hitman kind of.
He's like a
retired hitman. Or
retired hitman. It's actually pretty good. It's pretty interesting.
It's the same guy. It's the same people who made John Wick. You know, they just
and he's badass, and you look at him, you go. Because you don't see him being bad, because in the beginning, that how they're showing him, he's just a guy no one would be afraid of, but he's pretty badass.
Yeah, I mean the only one I never saw it, but I just remember the previews of him being on the bus, and so I'm gonna beat the shit out of you, and they all start laughing at him, and they just
it's funny because that seems pretty real. Because even though he beats the shit out of them, he gets the shit beat out of him too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But it was and then I saw 15-17 to Paris. That's the one with the 3 guys.
Oh yeah,
the terrorist guy.
Mm-hmm.
It was directed by Clint Eastwood. The only problem I had with this movie is the actual guys were playing themselves,
right?
And they can't act.
They can't act. So that's why you never do that. Ever.
So you're trying to watch this because I think Jackie Robinson played himself in a movie, the Jackie Robinson story. I think something like that. But this, you're trying to watch because it was pretty interesting. Fantastic thing they did because this guy had like 300 rounds of ammunition, and but it was ruined by the heroes ruined the movie.
I'm used to Chris saying roll credits. I mean, but damn,
I like Ed Smith said they acted better on The Amazing Race. They did.
I still say Nick and I would win Amazing Race.
Yeah.
I say before we go,
if we didn't win it, we'd at least be the most loved couple
because they're
on the show.
You'd be racing around and you'd be in the final leg and coming down the stretch, and you go, "Oh wait, before you go in, you have to show your vaccination card." Nick would go, "Fuck that!
Fuck, I'm out. Fuck it,
I'm out."
I know.
Like, come on!
If we're at that point, and if we're getting money, I might go, "All right, it's worth it." I'll do it for Chris. But
say something nice about this man. And it shows a picture of me. You're like, I can't do it.
How much time do I have to think about it?
I'm gonna have to do some research.
Well, let's be honest. He's a fantastic artist.
Are we talking about
you?
Oh, well, thanks. Even though I really don't feel like I do art right now. I'm not in an art.
But you
phase.
have.
I do from time to time. And I have some names for tonight. But one thing before we go, Super Bowl predictions. What do you guys got? Who do you want? What do you think? Who's going to win this thing?
I'm rooting for Cincinnati just because why not?
Cincy, let's go.
I'm rooting for the Rams. I think the Rams, the difference is that their front four is incredible, and the biggest weakness on the Bengals is their offensive line. Joe Burrow might get killed in this game.
I want to see some asshole that bet on Cincy back in the beginning of the season to win a lot of money.
Oh, God.
I want Eric Weddle to win a Super Bowl. I always love former Chargers that go on and win a Super Bowl. So,
Chris, did you just speaking of football, which I rarely bring up football, but it was a really interesting thing about Brady talking about the 0-2 season, how in the playoffs it all came down to one call that it was a fumble that was ruled a forward pass.
Tuck rule.
The tuck rule. The tuck rule. And that's what and he's talking about that. He said
the bullshit rule, it was a fumble.
Yeah, but they're saying is like that one rule changed his career, because if it would have been a fumble, they would not have made the playoffs, and he would have been second string next season to Bledsoe.
Drew Bledsoe, yeah.
Yeah, and then Bledsoe got traded, so it's like that's funny how one little thing can change.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
I've said 100 times that, because he could have gone to Cleveland. You have to be he's great talent. You have to be put in the right situation.
There is a lightning in a bottle situation there.
But have you heard the rumors out there? Because Tom Brady said, "Well, I never say never about retiring." The rumor is
he's fucking James Bond, man. He's
the 49ers are going to trade Garoppolo to Tampa Bay, and then Tom Brady signs with the 49ers because that's what he's wanted. Like you said, Chris, that's what he's wanted for the last 2 years. He wanted to play for the 49ers. I think he ends up with the 49ers. I don't think he's retiring. There's no way he would have done this before the Super Bowl and all this other stuff. He would have done it I think he's coming back.
I mean,
he can still play, and going on the 49ers with all that talent, they just need a quarterback.
Yeah.
He goes out.
Gronkowski needs someone to play.
Yeah,
because
I need my friend.
You know damn well Gronkowski's not going to play another game in a Buccaneers uniform.
The thing is that it doesn't make sense to me from a 49ers financial point of view to do that, though.
Well, they're paying Garoppolo more than they would pay Tom Brady.
No, but I'm saying, like, if you get Brady, though, you're going to give him a fat contract. He's only going to be there 1 to 2 years max. And then if he ends up going high in the playoffs, which they most likely would, even going to the Super Bowl, they're going to be so low. Yeah, he does like the Rams. They're going to be so low in the draft that they're not going to get another good quarterback. So it's to me, it's a bonehead decision.
No, it's a no-brainer because you have to. I mean, Tom Brady has more money than God. His wife
amount of money that would make the 49ers is bananas.
All right,
it's a brilliant idea for the
Tom Brady would I think to spite the Patriots and to go out as a champion. He would play because Garoppolo's making like 20 or 25 or 30 million a season. He got a big contract.
Really? You got that big of a deal?
I thought he did. I thought he got a huge because it was like 139 million or 140 million. I'm like, going for Garoppolo, he hasn't done anything yet. I could be wrong, but I think he has a big contract.
Well,
holy shit!
By the way,
wow,
we just had a Chinese New Year, and do you know what the animal year it is?
The year of the cat.
It's the year of the tiger. That means the Cincinnati Bengals.
27.5 million a year.
That's their year.
See? Yeah. So
I'm sorry if you don't like Burrow. It's going to be his year. Burrow, isn't he it?
Burrows.
Whatever.
Burrows.
I missed.
So yeah, it's at 27 million. You can get Brady for less than that.
You can do a whole nother Avatar movie. Are we ready to read these names?
Well, apparently you are.
I am. I want to end the show. I'm tired. I'm really tired.
I like the fact in Krauske Brady's going to join in the RCAD.
I love how fucking Jack just doesn't give a fuck about anything Matt says.
I listen to Matt all the time.
I really want to end the show. Well, you know what? It's really talking about Gronkowski and his future.
Yeah.
When's the year of the sheep?
Year of the sheep.
The sheep was not in the race.
That's let's just fucking finish this so we don't give a chat any more opportunities.
Last week, I didn't take a nap. I was tired. I was ready for it to end. This week, I'm wide awake.
Dude, last week I was literally sleeping, sitting in this chair. I was so tired.
I had 4 hours of sleep last night. I'm ready to pull this shit over.
All right, let's get these cards up. The
I will
cards
be quiet.
up.
Here, in fact,
You'd say,
Ooh,
you
the
on.
wow,
with
Jack
me.
is-
Wow! Look at what
Holy
Jack did.
fuck!
What did Jack
Jack
do?
muted himself.
Oh, by the way, do we have to put in another commercial break?
Yeah, I guess.
And I hope you liked all of those lottery announcements. Now, for this news. Thanks for everybody, really, though, that joined us live in the chat. If you made fun of me, fuck you. Everybody
So,
else,
chat,
though,
he just told all of you to go fuck yourself.
not
So that
Kim.
means next
Kim
week, bring your
Kim
A
never
game.
said anything bad about me. Sherry never picks on me. Basically, it's just the men. So, but thanks for joining us live, though. We do.
Well, we-
All right,
appreciate
you
it.
heard him. So Sherry, Sherry, you've got another minute or so to make.
All right,
fun
hold
of Matt.
on a second. Hold on a second. I
Again,
was
next-
on mute, and Matt has been interrupted nonstop since I put myself on mute, so it's not.
Thank
me.
you, Jack, for pointing that out.
I'm
That
just
was
saying,
very-
like Chris and I are pointing out that he put Sherry on the spot. So Sherry next week has an obligation to bust Matt's balls because
Yeah.
he's basically saying that I'm a wee little woman and I don't want to hurt anybody. That's
Or
that's
she-
Matt, that's a
she
quote.
She can put
That,
an
that
end
was
to it
pretty
right
sexist,
now.
Nick.
Huh? No, that's what Matt was saying. That's what Matt said. I heard him.
All right. Thank you for that, Nick. That was so good. So good. All right, I'm gonna put these up. Oh shit. Did I want it on me? Okay, I'll just put it on me. So, or maybe I can put it like this. There we go. Now it's like Brady Bunch style with these.
Sherry
full
still says she
soldiers.
loves you.
See, there we go.
You know why
Alright.
Sherry loves you? Because she's the same name as the woman with lamb chop. That's Sherry, isn't it? Sherry.
All right, here we go. These names have no real meaning, but thanks, patrons, for making this show possible. And
I love to see. I love watching Jack muted. It's actually fucking phenomenal.
Where'd
Tax
you cut
teeth.
Where'd you cut with that? I mean, what?
I don't know.
That's-
That's an alliteration.
That's low ball. That's like
Tax teeth. You try to.
bush league.
Now, he's not even here to defend himself.
Just tax teeth.
Yeah, tax teeth.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Was he got bad teeth? He got good teeth? I don't know what the hell that
Eckhart's
means.
Midnight Oil.
Yeah, burning the midnight oil. We were talking about that earlier. I don't know what teeth has to do with it, Tack. I went to the dentist earlier this week.
Oh, okay.
You guys don't like these already, I can tell. So
No, they're not bad.
Oh, okay, Ed.
Oh, hey, look at this. Ed's little blue helpers.
Damn, dude.
Wow. Okay.
That's kind of
Ed-
private. I
Ed,
mean,
he just went there.
he's just I mean, Jack can say that stuff.
Jack's like,
but-
oh, I got
yeah.
those.
yeah. I mean,
Maggie, I know you want to be the Mandalorian, but
So I read Maggie the Mando.
walking. In
I
the
don't acknowledge
moonlight.
what you have there. Maggie
What?
already said her wish for this week.
it's a I love this drawing. I
Ed wants his name. He wants his drawing.
Oh, send
want
that
to
to you. Okay.
Send that to me.
Hey, can I take back great artists?
Yeah.
It was Maggie's Moonlight Walk. And
It's
like
Maggie the
supposed to-
Mando. She already stated what she wanted.
Okay,
Yeah.
it's Maggie's.
You went against
Why
her
could
wishes.
you not-
She's a patron.
not
If she wants to be the
respect
goddamn
her
Mandalorian,
wish?
she's going to be the Mandalorian. You better be drawing a little Mandalorian guy.
That's awesome.
Joanne's
AM/FM car stereo system.
Why does the stereo look mad?
It does look
No,
mad.
it doesn't look mad.
It
It's
Yeah,
looks
just
it
totally.
does.
It looks like a buck-toothed, cross-eyed, weird guy.
okay. It was confused. It's old. Okay, it's been sitting in your dad's garage forever. Actually,
Why you got to
your
bring
dad does
my
have a
dad?
garage.
Why you got to bring my dad in this?
I know. Every time I bring up your dad, you're always like, "What the fuck are you doing talking about my dad? Stop talking about my dad."
Yeah, I don't
You
talk
talk
about your
his
dad.
mom.
Yeah.
Maggie after moonlight. That's pretty good. Maggie after midnight. Sorry, I misread that.
That's kind of
Just
sexist.
as much as I misread everything. So, including the love that I share with these men, I've misread that clearly.
No, you didn't.
That's a strong word. That's a real strong word.
This was a great show. It was a funny one. It was 1 in a million. Thanks for joining us live again. I appreciate it. Join us next week, perhaps Tuesday.
Hey, tell your friends. We get more people in the chat.
Yeah.
Subscribe.
bring your A game.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel. That does help us out as well. We would really
Wait. Sherry's been here the whole time, and you
Yeah,
didn't.
No,
you didn't
she also chose to not shit on Matt. She actually put love Matt. So the fact that she's asking for a bonus
She
after
wants a
not
bonus episode.
dumping on Matt.
Mm-hmm.
What about, hey, Matt, what about next week? The person in the chat that gives you the best zinger, gets a autograph picture from you.
Ooh.
Why am I rewarding them for zinging me? This is
because it's a great idea.
I
It's
think
a fantastic-
Jack should send.
How many? Well, these are my drawings, man.
You have shit. You have. Okay.
These are my
I
drawings.
think they want to see them. What is the fucking sheet? Go ahead. You show the listeners your drawing there, Jack. Go ahead. Look at that sheep. It's like smiling. And...
Wait. No, Matt. You look at that sheep. What comes?
You don't need no blue pill.
You have like a whole slew of children artists there that you could say, okay, I need you to draw some sheep drawings for me, kids. Like I need to have some stuff for.
I don't want to have to explain to them why they're drawing it. They're just.
Randy
kids.
says, "I want to win." All right, well, the gauntlet is thrown.
So are you okay with that, Matt? I want to ask you off air. Are you okay with that?
No, I'm not okay with rewarding people for zinging me.
Come on.
I would rather reward them for like subscribing to the YouTube, or giving us a.
But nobody does that. So.
That's true. That's true. That's fair. You know what I am going to do though?
Qualifier. You have to be subscribed. You have to be subscribed to our YouTube channel for your zinger to qualify to win.
There. Thank you, Chris. You brought the legal team.
There you go.
With the knowledge.
Nice.
See,
all right, so it's going to be an original piece of work from Matt. Signed.
Maybe. I don't know. So we'll see. So tune in next week.
Because it could be worse something because we don't know what that headache really was, right?
The vaginal headache.
Superpowers.
The vaginal headache. Yeah.
Good night, everyone. Thanks.
That
for
might
joining
be the
us.
episode title. Vaginal headache.
I like
listen
that.
to the entire show to understand why it's
Vaginal migraine.
Because they'll get past that toy crap, right?
Yeah, they got to get past the toy stuff. So, but join us live though. Thank you for
Good night.
zinging me. Zing away.
God bless.
See ya.